Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Guess what? We're back. We're back without warning. Just like out of the blue, here you go. Wake up on Wednesday, and the debauchery continues. But there's plenty to talk about, from fake high schools to, I don't know, jeez Louise. It goes on and on and on. And the roller coaster in sports is only a microcosm in New York. I mean, if you're a New York baseball fan, the roller coaster, thumbs up, thumbs down, it don't matter. You are up and down on the roly, and the NFL is about to hit in full effect. So, of course, we're back with a 17-week season. Oh, man, we're going to be picking a whole lot more than NFL. Let's get it rolling. So, without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here's your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moon.
Hey, we're back here for, I think, at least my 12th season, and I believe it's our, 14th season?
14 seasons, yes.
14th season of DSR2, yes. We are the longest running
without a doubt
internet show on there with the continuous host on there. We got lots here to talk about. On this most glorious of Wednesdays here in the D, it is absolutely was just perfect outside to skip out work because it was perfect. 78 degrees, no humidity, nice breeze, blue skies. It was absolutely perfect after the shit we've done through this whole summer.
It has not been this nice in a long time. So, like, it's not too...
We have San Diego weather with Detroit prices.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's 101 degrees with, 90% humidity, or it's 30 below. You know, it's like, and that's just on a Thursday. So it's been really weird here, and we've been getting rained on. We've flooded out here, I don't know how many times. And guys, okay, Detroit, you got to be better. You know, leave the kayaks at home. Don't swim in the doo-doo water. Like, really, do they have to come out and tell you not to swim in the doo-doo water on I-94 when it floods out?
Yes.
Do they really have to come out and tell you? So all those things have happened this year, since we've been gone.
The only thing is if we were down south, they would have been swimming in the doo-doo water. Guess what would have happened? An alligator would have ate them.
An alligator. Well, right now,
that's what's happened in New Orleans. They said a 71-year-old got out of his house during the flood waters and got attacked by a gator. Dude. I get thoughts and serious thoughts and prayers for the people in New Orleans, because holy crap, man! If you've seen the flood on there, and also the East Coast, because they're getting the remnants on there, tornadoes in Annapolis, Philly. All sorts of craziness going on there, so it's the end of days. But we still got lots here to talk about here. Let's have some fun there. As we said, the NFL season starts up a week from tomorrow. We got NCAA football starting up tonight, I believe. UAB versus Jacksonville State. And I think tomorrow we got Northwestern and Ohio State, I think.
Oh, okay. Then
I'm not sure on there, but yeah, we got that on there, so we'll get into that as well. We'll get into basically, if you had your draft already and you had Dobbins. First of all, you don't draft before the third preseason game. Now it's the last preseason game, so now you should have your draft. Nobody should be getting hurt.
Well, hopefully,
unless you're getting COVID because you didn't get the jab.
Well, and that's a touchy situation for a lot of cats, but to me, it's pretty simple.
You want to get paid?
Look, I'm just done with excuses, right?
Yeah.
If a doctor says that you're not going to have any reaction from this thing, you're not going to have a medical issue, then I'm not hearing this other nonsense. I'm really not hearing it from athletes because do you know the extremes that they go to their body, the things that they put? I'm not just talking about reaching into the candy jar and popping some colorful Skittles there,
Yes.
and I'm talking about the things that they put in their body to make sure they can get back on the field in a timely fashion. And you're telling me you're not going to get a vaccination?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking hypocrite. Oops, we just got kicked off YouTube. I don't give a shit. I mean, to me, I'm sorry. Get the kids out of the room. It's an IDGAF Wednesday here on our season premiere. I don't care.
Right.
You do all this crazy stuff and put all these drugs and all these things into your body to try to get back and be on the field. Whether they're legal or not.
Right.
Sometimes. And so now you're gonna be all uppity about the vaccination? No, I ain't hearing that.
Nope.
No, I ain't hearing none of that. That to me is nonsensical talk. You lose credibility when that's what you. I mean, I don't know.
So we got on that. Also, we got basically Urban Meyer, plain and simple, said is not getting the vaccination does look against you on there whether or not we're going to keep you or not. I mean, that's a check. Vaccination? Nope. Well, that's a check in the black. That's in the red.
Well, and this is where it gets hairy, right? Because why should I be forced to? Well, you're not forced to. It's a decision that you can make. It's not a right to be in the NFL.
No, it's a privilege.
And if you're not, we talk about it all the time on this damn show. If you're not your best ability is availability, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, your best of if you can't be available,
right?
And like I said, we just got done talking about all the things that they'll do to their body to become available.
And the
right
NFL
now.
said this year is we're not moving games to Wednesday. That's not happening.
No, they're not doing any of that. You're going to forfeit.
You're going to forfeit.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you forfeit, you don't get paid.
Right.
So the owners are like, and the coach is like, no.
Well, the other teams too.
Yeah.
And so now now it's like player on player crime. Canada Mike, of course, is in the building. I appreciate you guys. We're all over social media. You can hit us up. We're on Spreaker, Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, all that fun stuff wherever you do your podcast. Of course, on the social media. Text line, I'll get that up for you too, guys. You can get in on this conversation. 313-307-5340. That's 313-307-5340. Anything you want to chat, we'll go ahead and get into it. There's plenty to get into. Baseball, of course. And
again, a shout out to Taylor North, Little League World Champions, baby.
Yep. Well, and we could get into that into another. There's a little bit of a thing, and I appreciate our local teams doing well and the kids playing well and all that stuff. But my whole take on kids sports is we're gonna get into that a little bit when we get into the whole Bishop.
We'll get into
that nonsense in a little bit here. So. What was that? Bishop Oaks or whatever.
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore. It doesn't matter. It could be, Our Lady of the Oaks. I mean, you just keep going with all of them. I can't do it.
Our Father of the Empty Kegger.
You could just use the formula is simple that they're using.
Religious name
and tree. It's simple. It's like, what are you doing here?
Pope Sequoia.
Yes.
There we go.
There's another one. You have to have like Academy thrown on the back or something.
Okay. Yes. Institute.
Yes. Whatever.
So we got NFL action coming up here on there, and again, as we said, the cut days on there. We've seen guys getting caught and everything with it, and of course the people are making fun of the Lions got both their kickers. Well, they already signed a replacement kicker. Getting a kicker is not that hard to find a damn kicker,
dude. If you want to make fun of the Lions, there are plenty of fucking things to make fun of.
But that's not one of them.
That's not necessarily high on the list. Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, it's goofy. Your coach is a fucking clown, and you got no wide receivers, and your quarterback situation is a joke, and yeah, this is gonna go bad this year. This is gonna be bad.
We know we're gonna be terrible.
Yeah, but it's not gonna get better. Let's be real. Just watch. We're gonna start. I'm gonna be playing the stupid clown music drop a whole fucking lot this year. The little circus music. I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that this year.
So,
if you're a Lions fan, which all three of you,
there are tons of Lions fans.
No, there really isn't.
Well, They show up every damn Sunday. So
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they will this year.
Well, they can't tailgate at Eastern Market this year.
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be a big turnout because you're gonna have to show vaccination. It's coming.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna all have to have proof of vaccination. I'm getting ready to schedule my booster shot. It's gonna be available at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
I think we got to be minimum 6 months or out.
Yeah. So everybody.
I think Kelly can get it before me, but as soon as I can, hey, get me the jab. If I got to go every 6 to 8 months for the rest of my life, so what?
Well, it's one of those things where it shouldn't be. If everybody just gets on board, eventually, at some point, it'll go away. It's just taking longer because people don't want to take the shot, and that's fine. Whatever your reason is. I would love to hear a really good one. I haven't heard a really legitimate one other than health reason, and if your doctor clears you for that, which the only health from what they could tell would be a super small percentage, so that'd be barely anybody, and so that would have a health reason not to take the shot. So I think, yeah, I mean the FDA approval is there, like
that looked like that hurt.
We've done all kinds of crazier stuff. Yeah, I talked to a guy at the tattoo parlor because I went and got some ink while we were off. I'm gonna get some more here in a couple weeks, and there's a guy in there and he's leaving and he's covered in tattoos and he's like all anti-vaccination and I'm like, well, why? And he says, well, because it's I don't know what that stuff is, and I'm thinking, well, you eat like McDonald's and shit, right? You eat processed foods, right? Do you know what the fuck's in that? I guarantee you don't.
No.
When's the last time you had a hot dog?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I went to the Coney the other day. Yeah. Okay.
What's in that?
Yeah, what the fuck's in all that shit you just shoved down your face hole?
Plus, you just took off 36 minutes off your life if you ate a hot dog.
Right, and I'm like, and then he's like, well, the FDA, watches over that stuff, and this hasn't been approved by the FDA. And I looked at him, he's covered in ink all the way down from his hand to his, his whole sleeves. And I go, dude, there isn't a single tattoo ink that is cleared by the FDA. There never has, and there probably never will be. What are you talking about? You had no problem injecting that into you.
Right. But something now it's fully approved.
Yeah, but this is fully FDA. So, like, I just find it funny, the reasoning. Like, if your reason is because everybody that you trust told you not to and you don't know any better and you're just going to do that, then fine. Just say it. Just say it. So it was just goofiness, man. Just goofiness. So if you have I get it. You don't want to do it, whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me because it's I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Especially, like I said, from these athletes who do anything and everything to get their bodies back on the.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Gary's in the house. Mike's in the house. Toronto Argonauts are 2-1. Postponed due to COVID. So the Canadian League CFL doesn't care about that. We're gonna make Canada Mike our NHL and CFL guy. I think he's got
our CFL insider.
Yes, he's got all the intel on all that stuff. Canada Mike's all over it. He's always in the Facebook and he's all over it.
Gonna have his little dickie on there with the tie and just so he can come out and get the hair out of the pony, put it in the ponytail so he can go on the like,
well, now with technology, I could probably like get him on screen.
Him?
Yeah, I could bring him right in. We could put him in the corner. We could do some green screen fake background like he's at a game. It'll be from footage from the 60s or something. Be all black and white.
So let's see here.
So we gotta get back on track.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of NFL action on here. Aaron Rodgers was not going to come back. He was not going to come back. He was going to on there, and then they announced that Mike Richards was hosting Jeopardy. Like, shit, I didn't get my dream job. Oh, fuck it, I'll come back. And then 2 weeks later, Mike Richards gets fired.
Well, Mike Richards got his own problems. Like, that dude has got all kinds of heat. Not the good heat either.
Did you think they could at least do a little background check before hiring the cat?
Dude,
well, again,
you want to talk? Wait.
Let him hire himself?
How about this? You want to get into background checks? I got segue for kids. I got the perfect segue for you. How in the hell does a fictional high school with a bunch of grown-ass men get on ESPN playing football with a bunch of kids. How does that happen? How does that background check go?
What check on there? They just like, well, that sounds good, and all of a sudden it's like,
Would someone show you a picture of a school that doesn't exist? Here's a picture of Hogwarts. This is like our school. This is where I teach my kids.
The rendering of Hogwarts looks more realistic than Bishop Sycamore.
And then Bishop Sycamore, I love the damn formula there. So yeah, dude. I mean, no one checks anything anymore. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
they just see it and they go, "That's gotta be real. I saw it on the computer."
We have multiple Division I kids on there. Kids that are going to Division I schools. No, you don't. Because you would ask the schools that they were supposedly being recruited by, and they're going, "Who? Who?
Oh man, how does this happen? This is worse than the Deion Sanders school thing. Isn't that who it was? Deion? Wasn't it Deion that had the wonky fake school or whatever the fuck it was? Who was it?
Well, it wasn't Deion.
Was it Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin, I think, had the wonky fake school. Because Deion's actually coaching, like...
Deion, yeah, but
he's actually coaching college.
I know, but that's a whole other mess. Remember, he was accusing people of stealing shit out of his thing, and... Oh, whatever. Wait, just wait. That ain't gonna end well either. But that's a whole other topic. So yeah, maybe it was Michael Irvin I was thinking of. But someone had like a fake football school or something, or school, and it was just they weren't learning anything. They were just being athletes.
Well, I think it might have been Michael Irvin. Yeah, it's terrible on there. I mean, but again, it's probably a hair better than Trent Dilfer beating, shoving a kid and screaming at him. After they're kicking the shit out of the team they're playing.
Dude, these guys were like twice the size of these other kids. And in the end, they ended up losing, which is kind of funny.
They got their asses handed to them, like 58 to like 3 or something like that.
Yeah, by some high school kids. Yeah, but they were playing like 2 games in 3 days.
Yeah, they played a Friday, they played a Sunday.
they're like staying at hotels and stiffing the bill, and they're sharing equipment, and then they
don't practice.
Right.
They don't even go to school because there is no school.
They start conning this dude. This one guy who talked about this company that he worked for that supplied equipment, like that. And they ended up supplying like $40,000 of equipment to these cats that they never paid for. The dude had a felony warrant before this ever even started. Like, how do you not even at least do a $35 background check? Will have found that. $35. Every employer in this country uses the motherfucker. It's $35 and it's everything.
Yes.
It's everything within like the last 20 years or 16 years or whatever the stupid fucking rule is. Come on. Come on. And you're talking about kids? And you got these like man children out there, they got like gray beards and bald heads,
I mean, here SB Nation's actually got a full timeline under 2018.
There we go.
Roy Johnson, who eventually becomes the head coach of Bishop Sycamore, starts an online charter school called Christian's Faith Academy.
They came here. Keep going. Sorry,
the school has an identical goal as Bishop Sycamore would go to have. Helping at-risk youth. After scrutiny of state officials, it was impossible to determine whether classes were actually taking place, and the school's license was eventually revoked. Johnson was investigated for alleged fraud. 2019, Youth Build Centurions is founded in Columbus, Ohio, a rebranding of the Christian's Faith Academy, another online charter school with a football program that served as its public face. The school would later rebrand again, this time as Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah.
A 2020 article by The Independent notes that Bishop Sycamore went 5-6 its first season against the schedule that only features one Ohio school, adding the school was not a member of the Ohio State Athletic Association that had been a lightning rod for controversy in the local community. September 23rd, 2019, Youth Build Centurions have a match canceled in the school. A school in West Virginia learns that they have numerous players on the roster over the age of 18. Over 19, over 20. September 4th, 2020, Bishop Sycamore plays his first recorded football game. Max Preps losing 35-0 to a non-conference opponent. Wow. Ahead of the game, athletic director Dave Brown speaks to The Independent about his approach of building the team. Curiously notes that he doesn't want players or coaches to look up information about the team online and encourage our athletes and our coaching staff to stay off the internet. think.
Yeah.
Brown says curious concept considering Bishop Sycamore is an online school. October 16, 2020, Bishop Sycamore plays IMG Academy for the first time in their season finale. Bishop Sycamore loses 56-6, finishing the 2020 season is 0-6. Their closing game being a 37-14 loss. Bishop Sycamore and IMG will meet less than 1 year on ESPN.
Dude.
April 21.
All right, go ahead.
Bishop Sycamore spins its online hype match to a website which has since been shut down, showing it's closed for maintenance, and nothing is mentioned of educational goals, supports for students. Instead, the only information available is a series of blogs, posts detailing upcoming private workouts for college teams, and how the school recommends players create highlight clips to be noticed. August 19, 2021. Bishop Sycamore opens the 2021 season with a 38-0 loss to Archbishop Hobad. August 27, 2021. Bishop Sycamore plays Rose Sox in Pennsylvania, losing 19-7. 2 days later, on August 29, 2021, Bishop Sycamore plays IMG Academy on ESPN. The school is clearly outmatched and unable to keep up. During the game, the announced team expresses its disgust at the situation, insinuating that the network had been promised the school had numerous football players with D1 athletes, but clearly based on the gameplay, they do not. Furthermore, there are questions about the safety of players on the field against bigger, stronger, more skilled IMG. People began digging into the history of Bishop Sycamore, learning not only was there never a Bishop Sycamore as a person,
I know.
really,
Duh.
but almost nothing is known of the school. Ben Koo of Awful Announcing leads the charge investigating the school, being the first to point out they played 2 games in 3 days. Koo also questioned ESPN over how the school was put on TV, learning they trusted Paragon Marketing Group, a third-party company, to make the matchup.
And the Paragon's like, "Oh, sorry, my bad." Yeah.
August 30th, people began to dig more into Bishop Sycamore. A more suspect the school becomes. It is listed 2 addresses. One appears to be a house in a residential area. The other is a library at Franklin University in Columbus.
Oh, God.
Yes, one of the addresses is a duplex in Duncanville.
Oh, my God.
August 31st, 2021, Bishop Sycamore fired head coach Roy Johnson, who started this ball rolling back in 2018. Athletic director Andre Peterson fires back and claims he's running a scam because, as he tells USA Today Sports, "I'm not gaining anything financially from doing this." It should be noted that as of August 30th, there was an active GoFundMe trying to raise $20,000 for Bishop Sycamore, but had been shut down. It did receive $140 total. Bishop Sycamore closes its website, saying it's down for maintenance. Archives of past articles are still available via Wayback Machine. Schools begin backing out of scheduled games against Bishop Sycamore. So they canceled the whole season. So,
Oh, my goodness.
Shocker.
Yeah. I just, how that happens is just, it's mind-boggling to me. It's so over the top. Okay. It's ballsy enough to think that you're going to get all these cats to stay off the internet and all that. But what did you think was going to happen when you went to ESPN?
You got your ass handed to you.
It doesn't matter. You're going on ESPN, dude. That's too many eyes, man. Like, you can't do the sleight of hand and have people all behind you too. Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just don't get it, man. That's so wild. I mean, this dude must have been pretty convincing. People can be pretty gullible too, but man, come on. Mickey just hit 503. Thanks, Will.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, he hit
Cool.
that. So there a few minutes ago. So thank you.
But yeah, it's amazing on it because they had one kid goes, yeah, and he was on. And he goes, I got there, and I goes, well, they didn't even teach on. He goes, then I get the feel. I'm like, what the hell, man? These cats are like freaking JUCO players. What are you gonna play? What, you play the Friday night game and they play the Sunday games, or what? I mean,
insanity, absolute insanity. Oh man, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about all that. Like, there's got to be, especially when you're dealing with kids and stuff like that, and quote unquote at risk youth, which was like their whole point, like behind what they were doing. Like, how is there not some kind of research or something done? Like, how I mean, just basic stuff.
Right.
I can't imagine.
If you're sending your teenager to, oh yeah, this is it's an online, it's a charter school. He's getting
Right.
to play. They're playing national teams down there. Would you look into who this is? Would visit the facility before
Right.
sending my kid there?
Yeah.
Checking out their academics.
I mean, it's just like how do you pull this charade off and not get to even get to ESPN, let alone think you were going to be able to pull that game off on national television and walk away? That's crazy.
Oh, people are going to jail. Well, obviously the head coach is because he's gotten multiple felony warrants out. But
Well, he had one for fraud before, so
yeah, I mean,
I just wow, wowie, wow, 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 wow.
yes.
It's mind-boggling.
Yes, between this and everything else that's going on at the mothership, I mean, it's just like, God. I mean, this is just another one, just another black eye for them. I mean, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. But we talk about it all the time, and they're like just money grubbing, going after stuff. And that's the thing that bothers me about the Little League and stuff like that. And you have these kids playing the Little League World Series, and ESPN puts them on prime time. They promote it, and dude, these kids make mistakes and fail, and then they got to go back to their peers and go back to school and go back and do whatever, and they just been run over on national television.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work well with the young psyche. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
we've seen that. I mean, it doesn't work well. I mean, even the Olympic athletes, man, their psyches, I mean, it's like, they get fragile. And of course, you get the clowns out there. Well,
you see how visceral hate you get from people over sports. I mean, you see how people react.
Well, yeah, we saw that in the Olympics when Simone Biles. Like,
yeah, right.
Listen, oh, she a quitter. I'm like, fuck you. What have you ever done?
Right.
Get off your fucking couch and walk around the block and not have a heart attack, you fat fuck. I mean, seriously.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, she's only the greatest gymnast in the history of fucking gymnastics.
Right. Well, and people, I'm kind of done, and we've talked about it before here. That's why we always say we always kind of mention things in our closing. But mental health is not something to be fucked with.
No.
So, like, you're barking up the wrong tree with me on that. Like, if you're going to start ripping on someone like that who's, concerned about their mental health situation and did what they thought was right, you can just kiss my ass.
Right.
Like, you lost me with that one. So that's kind of my take on it. And like you said, but that's accomplishments aside. Like, for me, Simone Biles is great, and she's done all this stuff, and you can make all these arguments, this and that. To me, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I think it's wonderful that she's done all that.
But I think it's great that she's like, listen, I can't, I need basically drop out because I'm worried on it. Which is, again, we all should be worried. We should say, okay, no problem, man. We got your back.
Well, it's one of those things where she was mature enough to be self-aware of her situation, and she dealt with it. There's so many adults out here that are not that put together. Well, you
have her, and you have Naomi Osaka from Japan, the tennis player. The same thing. These young girls out there that are, again, smart enough and aware enough to say, something's not right. I need to take time out because my mentally is I'm not right. Something's wrong, and I'm worried. So again, I think that's wonderful that they see that on her, and we should applaud them for basically having the awareness to do it. Because we shouldn't tell these kids, listen, if you're not right on it, don't worry about it, man. We got your back. Drop back, take some time out, off or whatever, and get healthy in that. Mentally is on it. Being mental health is just as important as physical health. With it. But yeah, these clowns out there from their keyboards and on there just think they're just all a bunch of badasses. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what people are thinking.
So, but yeah, we got that. But yeah, I mean, this one on there. But yeah, this has just been a terrible summer for the mothership on there. Basically the whole Rachel Nichols thing get leaked on there. Of course, what's her name leaving ESPN immediately after the NBA Finals. That goes the NBC right away on there. And then they basically said, oh yeah, you got a year left on you. We're just canceling everything, so you can just stay home. She's like, fine, fuck it. I'll be back somewhere else. So as my contract's done.
That's crazy.
And the only bright spot on there, and people are going to be bitch about this, they got rid of Max Kellerman because he's fucking terrible.
Yes.
He's not even that good at covering boxing. He's just terrible. But, they can can all them freaking shows on ESPN because does anybody really watch them?
I don't think so.
I mean occasionally I'll catch on there. Rarely I'll catch on a little bit of PTI because it's Wilbaum and Kornheiser. And again, Stan Van Pelt, but that's it.
All right.
I'm not watching anything they're covering.
No. I got issues over here and my shit just crapped out. Anyway.
So we got that on it, but yeah, it's amazing on there. NBA Lakers become over the hill gang or what? Let's get every old guy on our team on there. You really think that's going to help you win a championship? You're breaking down already, and you're going to hire more old guys on there to come on your team who are going to break down too? And they're the favorite. No, they're not. I mean, they look on there. It's like LeBron is 150 years old in basketball years. AD can never stay healthy.
Well, and that's always been
Rondo
the issue.
will burn the bridge down because Rondo burns bridges no matter where he goes. As good as he is, he still burns bridges. And there's not enough basketballs on the damn floor to satisfy Russell Westbrook.
That's the issue. The style of play, it's just not conducive for all these guys to go together. And then we talked about it. What was LA's issue last year? I mean, they just couldn't stay healthy.
Right.
What's going to be the issue this year?
They can't stay
healthy. What's it going to be next year or the year? I mean, unless they start infusing young, good talent.
They don't have any draft picks to do it because they traded them all for these cats.
I know.
When it falls off the cliff, it's going to just go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be into a pit of the abyss from hell.
Yeah. I mean, how long they're going to be there for a while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many years have they got LeBron? They got Bronny in the brow.
Yeah, because they'll sign new deals. I mean, it's just like. Now Ben Simmons says, I want out and be traded. Good. But then again, who's going to take Ben Simmons? What are you going to get? Oh, we want multiple first rounders. No, how about this? A freaking bag of steel donuts. That's what you get. Because he can't hit a basket. He can't even hit a dunk. He's 7 foot tall. He can't even dunk the ball. I saw everybody the Lakers. It sounded like and how do you see them getting any farther? I mean, come on, seriously, dudes. And everybody's all they're like, oh, we should have took Jalen Green. Look at him, dude. Jalen Green cares all about is Jalen Green. Trust me, it's not going to end well in Houston. You think he's going to want to be there after his rookie contract is up?
No.
Kate's going to probably stick around here for a while.
Right.
Kate likes it here. We love Kate.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully he plays up to where he was and on there, and you start winning, and he'll want to stick around here. Because, dude, trust me, Detroit fans are loyal to the fault on there. And trust me, you win here, we love you for life.
That's true. I mean,
you happen to run over? You won an NBA championship? Oh, you got in a car accident and killed 15 nuts. That's okay. We'll sweep it under the rug. You won a championship.
There's some truth to that.
On there. So, but yeah, I see the Lakers. I'm going, really, dudes? I mean, you got Rondo, Carmelo, and Westbrook in the offseason. Again, the only one under 30 is Anthony Davis, but he walks around like he's 150.
I know.
He's got the knees of a 70-year-old.
He does. they're just not going to be that good. I mean, they're going to win games, and you're gonna, but I don't know. To me,
in the West, they're not going to win. They're not going to win the conference. They're not going to win their division.
They're not going to win the conference. No, I mean they're going to win the games they're supposed to win. If they're all healthy, they're going to be fodder for conversation.
And what happens if somehow Klay Thompson comes back 100% healthy? You think Golden State's going to be garbage?
Well, the whole thing with Golden State is it's the gauntlet of who they got to play over there, right?
Yes.
So I think for them, can they kind of survive that gauntlet? We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I just as far as the NBA goes, and
Denver's going to be healthy, better next year because Jamal Murray will be back.
Yeah.
Utah's going to be better because they got that year under their belt.
Utah's the one you got to watch for, I think, next year.
Memphis is going to be better next
They'll
year.
Definitely be better, yeah. But yeah, and if like you said, if Golden State can be a player, but I just think I don't know. I just think it's all about it's going to be all about it's all the hype is going to be there. I don't even know that the Clippers are going to be all that.
No, I didn't even mention it because I'm not sure about it. I don't know
who knows how that's.
I'm not even mentioning Houston. I don't know how that's going to come back after with Phoenix Summit this year.
Right.
Next year, we'll see what happens with Chris Paul on that. One team I'm definitely not going to mention. I'm not mentioning Sacramento because they're Sacramento. But yeah, everybody else would be better for the most part around them, except the Lakers, because again they're 150 years old.
Right.
Everybody. Shit, everybody's gonna be better in the East too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, I think it's gonna be all about the East. I think the West is gonna be what it is.
It's like everything's shifted again.
Well, it's gonna be all jumbly over there in the West, right? Because I just think and that's why I think Utah's got a chance to do something next year. Because I just think it's going to be jumbly in the West, and nobody's really going to stand out per se. And LA is going to be the team. I'm sorry, I should say the Lakers. The Lakers are going to be the team that everybody talks about over there, and it's just the way that it goes. I don't know why. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. When's the last time they won anything? And they talk. They're on the tip of the tongue all the time.
Their defense is terrible. They might even not win even their division. We don't even know if Dak's going to make it because now he's got that shoulder issue. Plus, they're coming back from the knee.
Well, Cam will go over there and back him up because he'll get a chance to play
and overthrow their receivers too.
Well, you can't overthrow anybody. Stop.
Underthrow.
Yeah. You can't overthrow.
Well,
shit.
He can't hit. He can't complete to anybody.
He's not target. He can't hit a target, but he sure as hell ain't overthrowing anybody.
I mean, on it, but yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, come on. Washington's still the team to beat in the East, the NFC East.
Yeah, I agree.
They got the best defense. Chase Young's an absolute monster.
It just sounds weird to say that, but I do agree.
And they got Riverboat Ron. And again,
that's what I like about them. And segues are for kids. We went from NBA to NFL.
Yeah, because we're ADD radio. Jinx. But yeah, you look at Washington, and they're going to be better because they actually got a quarterback under. Whether he's hot or cold. I mean, he could be frozen cold, or he could be red hot,
right.
And it's Fitzmagic on there. But yeah, they're going to be better on there this year because again, they've got at least a viable quarterback wise, and they've got more than one receiver. I mean, McLaurin is great, but Samuel's going to be pretty good as that kind of a hybrid on there. But they got a really nice running game with Antonio Gibson. Right. And a nice tight end with Logan Thomas. But that defense is freaking legit. And they got a good offensive line, too.
Right. Yeah.
The Giants are garbage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, if you're a New York fan, an NFL fan.
That might be the one team might be even worse than the Lions.
Yeah, the Giants and the Jets are not.
Well, the Jets, I see the Jets actually might be making some progress in that on there.
Sure. But like I said, you got to be a Buffalo fan, I think, right now.
Well, yeah. Oh, they're winning the AFC East again. I mean, with that. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, this is going to be a crazy year because, again, we'll see what happens on there, especially with the the only 3 preseasons that matter, but the whole year on there with these cats on there, guys are already banged up and hurt and dinged up and everything. And again, if you don't get the vaccination and you're out for the week or whatever, they're not rescheduling games.
Right.
That's not happening.
Right.
Guess what? You can't get enough guys on the field, you lose the game, and you don't get paid.
That's the problem.
Now, again, should they penalize the other team that did follow all the protocols and they're going on there and they get the win? Again, I don't know how they're going to work that out. It's like, listen, it's not my fault that these clowns didn't follow protocol.
Right.
My guys better get paid and we get the win at least.
Yeah.
I think that's what they should do.
All right.
And then if you're in a fantasy league on there for football-wise on there, you got 17 weeks on there. So, again,
how's that going to be now? Are you guys going to hold off another week?
No, actually, we're going to do is for us is on our league is because before we only used to allow 4 teams into the playoffs, so we're going to go 2 more teams into the playoffs.
Oh,
the
wow.
top 2 seeded teams get a bye week the first week of the playoffs, and then you'll have the semifinals and the finals. So everything basically is if you're the 1 or 2 seed on there, you get a week off, which will be week 15, or game 14. And then you'll put on there. Then you'll play 15 and 16 on there. Because 17, we don't. Our league's over because again, if you have to play in a fantasy league that goes on week 17 or game 17, you need to punch your commissioner right in the throat.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's why I wasn't sure how you guys are going to play that. So
that's how we're.
I haven't played in a while. I'm probably not going to play this year because I'm so busy.
They were down there. Well, what are we doing? And I wanted to suggest the rule change on there, and it got passed unanimously.
Nice. So, well, super genius over here, brilliant fantasy football mind.
So I got that. Our draft is tomorrow night, so we'll do that. And,
okay. Look at you, ready to roll.
Already been doing some mock drafts on there.
Yeah.
I'm picking 8th, so I'm thinking, okay, our league guys will take quarterbacks way too early, so I know I got a decent running back on there to come into. So,
all right,
and it's not a PPR, so whatever. We're not going to talk about fantasy on there this weekend. No Moose's fantasy moment. That'll be next week.
Yep.
We'll get into that on there. You guys got your drafts on there, whatever your format is. I wish we had a PPR, but we don't. That's
the only way I'm even.
Only way I like to do it is a PPR. I think it's great and everything. Right. And again, guys, basically, if you're in a PPR league, if you're drafting 1 through 5 running back, if you're drafting 6 through 8, just take best available. If it's a running back or 6 through 9, running back or wide receiver. If you're at the 10, 11, and 12, running back, and then hit another running back on the way back on there.
Gotcha.
But again, if you're especially in a PPR league, you at least want to get 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds. Well, you got to get a top end receiver immediately on it. And again, there's nothing wrong with going with a 0 running back scenario on a PPR league.
So, Moose, we get into this thing every year with the NFL. We've traditionally kind of picked our preseason Super Bowl picks and all that nonsense.
I figure we do that next week because it's just on the eve of the season.
Sure, that's fine. We could do that whenever. Which is really what born the whole Scrappy Donis situation. So I always find that to be funny. But then we've got all this stuff going on, but it's hard as hell to judge anything from the preseason. We talk about this all the time, and it was even more useless this year.
Oh yeah, it was totally useless.
So we're gonna get into pick'ems here per usual here a little bit later, and we're gonna break that down. But when we come back from our little break, I want to kind of break down what we may or may not have actually learned, because as much as we talk about the preseason being so pointless and useless or whatever, I think there are some things that we can kind of learn, maybe even if it's more abstract and overall with the NFL from the preseason. There are things that can be taken from it. So I think I want to do that. So I want to pick your brain on a couple little things on the other side of the break. We've got pick'ems. What else over the summer? That's what we should be kind of covering here more. I know we got into a little bit of the NBA stuff, but what over the summer did we miss that we haven't touched on? Because I think once we get into the second half here, it's going to be all heavy NFL.
It'll be definitely heavy NFL. I think we've already kind of touched on, made fun of the NBA free agency a little bit on here. Baseball wise, is just the debacle that we'll talk about certain teams on there that were hot that just fell off the planet, a la the Boston Red Sox and New York Mets.
Well, the New York situation is kind of crazy too, right?
Because their general manager just got arrested for a DUI.
Yeah,
coming from the owner's house who had a fundraiser.
Well, and the thing is like if you're in New York, you want so the Yankees had a stroke early on, and then it looks like they were coming back, and the Mets are it's got to be a wild town.
Well, the Yankees basically gave away everything for Andres to win this year, and basically was the biggest hitter in free agency wise. Problem is they still can't catch freaking Tampa.
Right.
Beat it again. Who has a payroll like the Tigers at around $60 million.
Well, and the Tigers aren't doing anything that's blowing me away. I feel
but they were supposed to be terrible on there, and we're battling it out at least for around 500 on there. This team is played a lot better than we anticipated wise, and that's because of one reason only.
Well, yeah, it's AJ Hinch.
AJ Hinch.
But that's the problem. You can't bunt your way to a championship.
No, but he doesn't have the talent to hit home runs in there.
They have no extra base hits.
No
power whatsoever.
But we see guys.
None.
We see a couple cats that are moved now in AAA now that we drafted under Riley Green, and Torkelson. Green has been hitting it. I mean, he's got what he did in AA and in AAA. Now he's doing the same thing, guys. There, you see Riley Green. Torkelson, we know, can hit the snot out of the ball on it. We'll see on it. Is he going to be up here next year? Probably not, but we do see pluses on that. I'm going to say is I do believe that. But the problem is we don't have a shortstop. We really don't have a second baseman. Do we really have the long-term answer at third? No. Well, I mean, they're missing pieces there. They're still there.
Who's do they have a shutdown, lockdown kind of pitcher they can rely on? Okay, that's enough. You know what, Moose? Your hesitation tells me everything.
No, but I think we got three. We have three rookies.
They are a mess.
They do have.
AJ Hinch is covering up for a lot of that. They're a mess. And, you could talk, we'll get into it a little bit before we get into NFL, because I know you want to talk about the Bo Sox and all that stuff. But just while we're on the Tigers bit, I'm not seeing it. And I don't know what they're going to do about talent. And Avila is driving me absolutely
But then again, they've only got a $65 million payroll. And
right.
Of that is 35 of it's Miggy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't have 60% of your payroll be one guy.
Yes, on there, and they know that, and they're going to have to spend some money on there this year on there. And again, what they need to do is if you got to open up on there and sign a bad contract to get Carlos Correa, then so be it. But you know what? If you have to give him a 10-year deal, give him a 10-year deal. Guess what? He's still only 26 years old.
Right. I don't know. Does that solve your problem?
It helps. It doesn't totally solve it. There's still others on there.
Burying yourself deeper, aren't you? I mean, it's kind of like trying to climb out of a hill while the wall, or trying to climb out of a hole while the wall just falls apart on you. I'm not
signing Trevor Story because again, he's just another Colorado guy that comes here and we're gonna find out we can't hit a home run because it's not in Denver.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah.
But on there, but again, you do see Mize on there. You see on there Scooble. He does give up a lot of home runs, but he does strike out a lot of guys on there. Matt Manning, we'll see. You got three rookie pitchers out there. They're giving us some innings on there that actually we see some plus size on that. And again, the bullpen's actually played pretty well for the most part on there with it. Surprisingly, Fulmer seems to be a nice guy coming out of the bullpen wise. He might be our closer of the future. We'll go with that on that. Catcher wise, I think we've got some good kids on there. We've got some talent in the farm system it's going to take a couple years to get up here and that. But again, athletic wise, we've finally got some speed in the outfield.
Right.
We're not giving up. I mean, we're getting guys on there. But again, they don't have any home run power.
I mean,
Nobody does.
but they haven't really been able to. They haven't done anything. I mean,
They-
I think it's cute that they found Badu and all that stuff.
That's a nice story because it didn't cost us anything.
Yeah, right. But I mean, beyond that, man, it's just
Eric Haas, nice story because it didn't really cost us anything. And he's a local kid, so it's a good nice story. That, but they don't have any boppers in the lineup. They're playing it simple.
Yeah, it's an issue too. It's an issue. So I don't know.
But for them to even be only 9 games under 500 this year, it's because of AJ Hinch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can give him or Cash in Tampa or the Athletics' manager. Those are your 3 guys on there for your manager of the year in the American League.
All right.
Tony La Russa doesn't even know he's He's still managing. Dude, you're 70-something years old. Quit dyeing your hair.
Oh, man.
Jesus. Lay off the frickin' Bud Light, too. I mean, you're hammered all the time, and you got a bad dye job. You don't even know you're out. Where am I? I don't know. Why am I wearing... Jesus Christ. So, but, yeah, we'll get into some baseball here because, yeah, some teams have fallen off the planet. Some teams are making a rise up on everything with it. And again, there is a certain team out there. How the fuck did they end up in first place and essentially is the best record, or this tie for the best record in baseball, and that's the San Francisco Giants. Dude, how the hell are they 84 and 43 or 48? Who's on that team? I mean, come on. The Dodgers have the biggest pay. I mean, they've got literally all-stars at every position, and they're a half game out of first. And that San Diego, unfortunately, they're having a hard time. They're 14 games out, but damn it, they still have my favorite player, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Tatis Jr.
And again, Ohtani steals home last night. Dude.
I mean, he's off the charts with this stuff. I mean, 40 homers. Was he got 42?
42 home runs.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He was leading the majors.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And he can pitch.
Yes.
He's still probably the best pitcher on his team.
Oh, yeah. Well, because the Angels have no pitcher besides him.
But that's just I don't know, man. That's a throwback there, man. You just don't see that. He's been a marvel to watch. That's been the high.
That's been the fun point of the season.
Yeah, to me, that's been like the best part of the season. And I do like, Javi Baez is an idiot, but
everybody on the Mets are idiots. Javi Baez, Francisco Lindor, they're booing us, so we're gonna boo them. You know what? We're booing you because you freaking suck.
I think it's flipping great because I love it when the open mouth insert Nike. This guy's an idiot.
Oh, you wonder why the Cubs got rid of him? He's a moron.
Oh, I'm so glad he didn't come here. I remember when the conversation was like, "Wow, we're trying to get Javi Baez."
He's a free agent after the season. No, it's not happening. We don't need an idiot like that.
Well, that conversation is going to happen now, but I was before.
It was happening. Now they're like, "Oh no,
no one wants to touch him."
And the Cubs, oh, can I come back to you? Yeah, half what we were paying you.
Yeah, half. Yeah, costing us money. But I love it though. It's the only. When's the last time there's been any kind of like fodder or fire? It's the same thing like with tennis. I don't want to knock tennis, but like when tennis had some action is when you had some trash talking going on and you know what I'm saying? Like McEnroe and them guys were. Now they're all robots. Yeah, it's like so. Like to me,
I mean, Djokovic has his meltdowns and destroys rackets and that, but that's about it.
Right. You know, so I don't know. I just feel like maybe that's lacking or whatever, but that's just me. So when I see this in baseball, it cracks me up. I love it.
I just could never get into like tennis on here because it's you talk about the predominantly white privileged sport, tennis.
Sure, I mean, tell Serena Williams that, but sure.
But no, they're the rare exception on there because their old man. I mean, there was worked their asses off.
Sure,
they had talent, but for the most part, they're all privileged. They're all from upper class on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of them aren't even from this country, to be honest with you. Yeah, you know, a lot of them aren't.
Nobody goes plays tennis. I mean, again, I'm not Richie, but I can still golf. I can find a public course and go hit the links in that and just have some fun in that. But I'm not going to be on Sunday afternoon well, battling out for the Masters. That ain't happening.
Yeah, golf's an expensive sport, though. I mean, if you want to do that as a hobby, that's uber expensive. It's the same thing with hockey. If you want your kids to play hockey, it's super expensive. And Canada Mike is.
I gotta sell blood if my kids wanted to play hockey.
Oh yeah, Canada Mike.
Jessica wanted to play. I want to play hockey too. We can't afford to have you play hockey and swim and your daughter to play softball. It's not happening.
No.
And you want a car too? No. I gotta sell blood. I gotta start putting a mask on and rob 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
I'll take whatever's in that cash register, and I'm gonna take over there. I'm gonna give me a couple big gulps to go.
You just take just wear a mask like everybody else is wearing, and then just write a little notey note and slide it to the thing, and get what you need and leave. You know, say a word. Canada Mike says welcomes the Red Wings to the Eastern Conference. Since the NHL reference.
Oh, because the Coyotes don't have a home halfway through the season, so they're leaving. Gee, they should have never went there. Maybe Winnipeg should have kept their team.
Maybe.
And I don't think Detroit moves to the West. I think it'll be Columbus.
Oh, you think Columbus goes to the West instead
Yes,
of Detroit going back?
I think they're going to keep Detroit in the East.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, whatever. Canada Mike golfed for the first time in his life last month, and it was quote unquote a shit show. That sounds like probably my first golf outing. I've never played a regular round of golf. I've gone to the driving range, and I've obviously goofed on a putt-putt place forever, since I was a little kid or whatever. But I've gone to the range, but I've never just played golf. Yeah. So if I had to crack balls, I'm sure it would be a shit show as well.
I just didn't have time this summer with especially softball.
I'd be like Happy
and then
Gilmore.
when it got up to when the heat index in 100, I'm like, I'm not golfing in this crap.
Hail to the no.
I'll do so. I'm going to get some fall golf here in a couple weeks, and we'll hit a couple times out there. But I've been to the range a couple times this year, and I enjoy it on there. And again, I'm a hack.
Right.
I mean, at my best, I was just a little bit better than a bogey golf. That I mean, I could if I play within myself, I could play probably just a little bit above bogey golf. A little worse than bogey golf, but that's about it.
Yeah. I'd be happy if I got the ball near the cup and then I found it after I hit it. But I think once I got it on the green, I'd be all right.
Right.
But
you know one thing we got golf? You can golf. You go, man, I hate this game. I hate this game. I hate this game. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. And then they're on 18, and all of a sudden you smoke one, and all of a sudden next thing you know, you're a foot and a half from the cup. Yeah, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, it draws you back in. It draws you back in.
It's happened to me so many times where I'm playing like crap and I'm ready to quit, and all of a sudden I'll hit one shot. I'm like, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
With that, but everything with it on there, but it's on there. But yeah, it's crazy on there. And of course, you got the PGA on there. Well, you can't yell Brooksy with DeChambeau, or you're gonna be like, you know what? Tell DeChambeau to fucking toughen up. You know what? You know why they're ripping on you? Because you're a douche canoe. You were such. I mean, dude, you choked on Sunday. Yeah. You had 3 putts, and you had to make one to win the damn tournament.
All right.
And you choked. And of course they're gonna rip on you. Why? Because you're a douche canoe.
Yeah. When you see, this is the whole thing.
Karma comes back and bites you.
This is the whole thing, but that to me, that's what makes these sports interesting, right? Because the
sport
itself,
I mean, again, I love the rivalry between him and Koepka on there, and he's on there, and Koepka could just say, "And how many majors have you ever won?"
Right.
I've got 4 already, pal.
Yeah.
And you're a douche canoe.
Yeah, and you're. Well, that's the whole thing.
You're walking with metal spikes. And I mean, that said it all when he just kind of rolled his eyes like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that said it all. Douche canoe.
Douche canoe. Oh, shoot. That's awesome. Well,
I mean, granted, he's got a personality because Tiger Woods had no personality whatsoever. He's a robot. Right. But you're still a douche canoe.
I'm with you. All right, my brother. We are going to catch a break, and then we'll get a little bit more MLB in.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then
We got college football. We got to get into.
Football, and then we've got to run our pick'ems at the end here, real quick.
There's no pick'ems this week.
Oh, there is none. It's next week.
Next week. Next week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all next week. Okay. All right. So we got time.
Yeah,
then.
we got time.
We're good then. What am I thinking? Oh, that's because I got this.
I mean, you want to do pick'ems for basically the weekend? I don't know.
No.
We'll talk about that on there, but
yeah, you're right. Because I was just looking at all my graphic setups in here.
We can talk and make fun of the NIL deals on there that these cats are signing.
Dude. Hey man, I don't. You know, I'm gonna stand by my stance. I'm cool with it. Like, if they're gonna give it to them, they're gonna give it to them. It's just, we'll break it down. All right. So.
Yeah, we'll be back in a few. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air, and now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. Winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's a large service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
You know, when you hear that sound, you're going to have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
Get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57Records.com. That's www.studio57records.com. Or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390. Or log on to Studio57Records.com. And just remember one thing, baby.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57 serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Seven and a half those. We're back with my goofiness. I hope you are ready. We're talking about all kinds of nonsense. It's been ADD radio for the whole first hour. I don't even know what to say other than we've just been absolutely flipping everywhere. But that's what happens, like, especially on the first show back. We got a lot to kind of cover from when we were gone, and we're like all excited to see each other, and we're just going back and forth, and getting a little crazy. So we're going to settle in here. We got a little baseball, a little college, football, and then we'll get things back on the rails here. So without further ado, let's get into hour 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here's your host, Johnny the Moose.
All right, we're back here. I just want somebody to get bitch slapped on TV, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we got lots here to talk about the first hour on, as we said, ADD Radio. We covered the whole gambit of NFL, a little bit of NFL action, a little bit of MLB action, a little bit of NBA free agency action. Lakers are basically signing every senior citizen they can get their hands on, thinking they're going to win. We talked all sorts of stuff on there, so we still got lots to talk about. As we said, we got some NFL action still to talk about. We got some college football to talk about, and some more MLB action on there. And again, we've got the, as they said, is the NIL, endorsement, name, image, and likeness era is here. So we got the deals going on there as well. With that and all the craziness that's going on there as well on that. Blue chip, again, we said, is blue chip Ohio State quarterback recruit Quinn Evers is struck an autograph deal with GT Sports Marketing for name, image, and likeness deal with ESPN, which will pay him, and he's not even he's in college early, but he's not even on the team yet on that. He's going to get, he's already signed a deal for $1.4 million over 3 years. Which is pretty much going to be his whole collegiate career in that. So, I guess, Ohio State doesn't have to pay you anymore because they can just get your NIL deal on there, and that'll be getting your payday on that.
Well, that's what it is, though, Moose. That's like the gimmick, right? Like, they were getting the money anyway. So, the idea was if you can make money off your name and likeness, then you don't necessarily have to be sneaky and shitty about it. I mean, let's be real. They're making how much money off these cats?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what. I mean, how many millions of dollars that they're making on it? That's what I just said. It's the kid from Ohio State who basically enrolled, reclassified, so he's not going to be technically on the team till next year, but he's in college already. In that, he signed a 3-year, $1.4 million deal. So you're 18 years old, and you are already making nearly $500,000.
Well, the tricky part of this is always gonna be who, grown adults have issues dealing with that kind of money. So kids are gonna have issues dealing with that kind of money if you're 18 years old. I'm sorry, it's just real talk. And so, for me, I just don't. I know that's probably the flaw in this whole thing, is how do you? But maybe, people will start paying attention, and they kind of got to do their own thing, right? So, I'm gonna get a financial advisor if I'm an athlete. I'm gonna get one at 16.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever, and my parents need to be able to set me up and set themselves up and set up my kids and you know what I mean? Help me out if I'm going to make money off my name and likeness probably at 18. Not like from an official legal standpoint, but I would like to think that the majority of people are going to have some kind of support there. And now this is going to create a whole new mess where you're going to have like programs available to these kids where they can learn. I think that's going to be part of what might be required.
Right. As we said earlier, too, is we'll see what happens on there, too, because what's his name? Amani Bates, the phenom out of Michigan, the basketball, which was the number one recruit going into it. He left. He was originally committed to Michigan State, pulled out his commitment from Michigan State, right. And now, lo and behold, he is going to Memphis and got an NIL deal with FedEx.
Right.
which is they said is probably around $700,000 for 1 year.
Well, and that's not super crazy. I mean, like we've seen. I mean, it's not like he got a $5 million contract or something.
No, but he's a one and done. We know that.
Yeah, and that's fine. So he makes a little bit of money this year, and then
Only
next
problem
year he's
is
gonna be gone anyway.
Supposedly somebody got on there. They leaked out. Well, they misspoke or whatever, and it was a joint venture deal with Memphis and FedEx brokered the deal so he'd come there, which is totally illegal. But again, gee, Memphis dirty? No, really?
Well, my whole thing is like, yeah, they shouldn't have been involved as far as brokering the deal or whatever. But if you came to us, we knew this would be a side effect. You're going to go to certain markets, certain schools, because you're going to have more opportunity to, make some money while you're there. And it's no different than that when you're a pro, right? You go to a major media market because you can make money outside of your sport and expand your career and all that, right? Nobody comes to Detroit because there's nothing effing here,
right?
But they go to New York or LA because there's a whole other industry that they can exploit and make money off of and do their thing.
I think the biggest NIL deal so far it's been the Cavender twins on there for Haley Cavender and her sister Hannah on there play for Fresno State, and they signed a huge NIL deal with Boost Mobile because they're already on basically TikTok and all that other on there, so Snapchat and everything else on there, and they're kind of hot blondes. It's easy enough for them to market themselves on there with it. But yeah, they got a monster deal out of that because again, they're But I mean, Hannah Healy was Mountain West Conference Player of the Year, but again, it's Mountain West, so really.
Yeah, but once again, if you can market,
if you can mark, I'm not this down there. They can mark themselves, and they can make upper six figures per year as college kids on there. More power to them. Now, wait, you know what? Cats are going to start making the big money on there, especially the top end kids on there. Well, they'll make at least better money on there because they're already talking about it as NCAA football is coming out next year.
Yeah,
they're already working on it, so that's gonna be the one where.
Well, and then jerseys will have names on them.
Oh yeah, Michigan already said it. They're putting names on it, and they're gonna start selling the jerseys with their names on it.
Yep.
So they better get these kids better be getting a cut of that.
Oh yeah, they will be. They'll have to be. You know what kind of scandal that's gonna cause if they're not?
Yeah.
Especially with the name and likeness shit going on.
Michigan this year, there's not a cat on there. I wanted from a Michigan jersey and football wise. I want my. Can I get a Woodson number 2 still?
Yeah. You have to get it custom made is what you got to do.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. I mean, you could get a Michigan jersey and have a name and number put on it.
My ex-wife bought me a number 16 Michigan jersey on there. That was the John Navarre. I'm like, John Navarre? Really? He's the worst quarterback Michigan's ever had. And all of a sudden, thank God I kept the jersey on there. All of a sudden, Denard Robinson. I was like, see, now I can wear this now. We're wearing it.
Yeah. Denard was fun to watch, though. He just wasn't cut out for that whole. I don't know.
He was not a quarterback.
I didn't feel like he was a quarterback, but like I didn't felt the same way about Slash from what's his name from Pittsburgh back in the day. Gosh. Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart was.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was a quarterback either, but he was a really good athlete, and he won. And so I don't think that it was out of the realm of possibility for him. But to be in that system in the Big Ten with the way that team was constructed with that half-ass coach, he just didn't have anything lined up for him. If he went to a smaller school with a better system.
Or if he would have went to a coach who was more quick. If Denard Robinson played for like Tom Allen at Indiana, he'd be a superstar.
Sure.
If he would have played for like Urban Meyer down in Florida, he would have been a superstar. Or if you had played for with that something where they could run that spread or whatever on it, he could be great on there. Problem is he played for Brady Hoke there, who couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag.
Yep, absolutely, it's a total mess. So, that's where I feel bad for Denard. Like whether you want to say he was a traditional like drop back quarterback, no, he was not that. But he was a dynamic playmaker, and so I think he had a use. He just got misused and
Right.
never had a chance to flourish in his own skin, so to speak. So
He was really, essentially he was a running back that just happened to be able to throw,
yeah, I mean,
and that's what he ended up doing with a couple years of the NFL. And he had actually a couple decent. He actually had one halfway decent year, some really good games there at the end with Jacksonville and that. It's just problem is he really was slight built to that, so he couldn't take the beating on there in the NFL action in that. But again, he was
his style put his body at risk.
Right.
Because at quarterback, it shouldn't matter, to be honest with you. I mean, like, Drew Brees was not a big dude. And it took him, 15 years in the league to get any kind of mass behind him. And he wasn't a big dude. He's always slight. You can, at the quarterback position, you can't touch these guys. You can't even look at them sideways anymore.
No.
So, like, I don't think that matters as much. But when you have a style like that he has where, you've got to move around and make things happen outside the pocket, and you got to rely on your speed, and you may have to run and do some different things. I mean, you're putting your body out there, and like you said, a smaller guy, one wrong hit for anybody is it's done, but especially for a smaller guy.
Yeah, especially you look at today's NFL, you get these, they're drafting these kids out there that can run like deers too and all that, but they can do it all. I mean, you get Justin Fields and you get Trey Lance. We'll see what happens with them. But again, they're bigger kids. I mean, they're decent size. They got decent size. 6'2", 6'3", 200. But they run like frickin'. I mean, it's like Jesus Christ. I mean, they get on the open field like what the hell? Mahomes. I mean, he doesn't look the right. He keeps moving around just to throw it downfield, but he could throw it from anywhere.
Right.
And it's just like crap. I mean, we've seen that now. I mean, on it, but it's fun to watch on that. But so they had an interesting stat on there, and then we're going to get ADD radio.
Okay.
Because people are talking about down near Tennessee with Derrick Henry and that. Like, well, he's going to take a drop off in that. His first 45 games, he wasn't that good on there.
Okay.
He was basically 45 games on there. He was roughly like 2,000 yards and on there, but so it wasn't that 30. It wasn't that great on there. You go, okay, and all of a sudden they had that one night at Jacksonville where Derrick Henry became Derrick Henry.
Right.
And you look at the last 35 games on there he's played. He's had like over 4,500 yards, like 44 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like
he just got it at one point.
It's just like now he's just a monster, and you go, dude, nobody should be able that big to run like that. It's like Bo Jackson had a baby and he became Derrick Henry.
Yes. Well, it's one of those things. Like, did he have a breakthrough in his body, or
he was the same thing? I think what it is they trusted him, and he just. I think things he just. I think the game slowed down for him.
That does happen for a lot of guys.
Where he starts seeing it more, and he becomes more patient. Because I think he was still always on it, but he was just he's such a big bruising guy.
Oh,
dude, Josh Norman is still feeling that straight arm. And now they got the Derrick Henry 2.0, and that's Najee Harris, the same thing too.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys out there that are 6'2", under 230, 240 pounds that just can run like that.
Well, they're running. They hit you at 35 miles an hour. I mean,
but dude, they're not supposed to move like that, to run like that. That kind of speed.
I'm saying.
Bo Jackson was not supposed to. It was inhuman.
Yeah. I still picture him running up the sidelines, man, and just being able to outrun a whole damn team.
I remember him running over Brian Bosworth and pretty much ended Brian Bosworth's career.
I was about to say, he could outrun the whole team, and then he could just run over the. So yeah. But that guy was a freak. He could play baseball at a high level too. And it's just like, man, but that's crazy talk there. But anyway.
But yeah, I think as we said, the NIL deals. Alabama's quarterback signed like a $3.75 million deal for this year.
So it's right in line.
Yeah.
It's just that's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna see cats on there that upper six-figure range on there. You'll start seeing on there with it more and more out there. You're gonna start seeing cats getting a $1 million deal.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I don't really have an issue with it.
I don't.
I just can't really see any logical reason why you'd be all uppity about it. I think the only real downfall is, are these kids prepared to handle the money and all the shit that goes along with that. And I think if you put if the NCAA kind of forced their hand to kind of make all this happen, and they're gonna capitalize off it too, as far as flipping jerseys and do whatever, then they should probably provide some kind of I don't know, financial education.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I think that's a good happy medium for. They're already raking in bazillions of dollars off these kids for nothing, and now with them being able to make name and likeness, it's going to open up the door for the NCAA to make even more money off of the sport. So, and
yeah,
others.
it's gonna be interesting this year, like in college football, like University of what was it, LSU, pretty much said is, you want to get in the stadium, better get vaccinated. And if you don't get vaccinated, you better come in with a test on that shows you work within the last 72 hours that shows you're clean.
Yeah. And then in some cases, like, I don't even know if that's going to fly. Like, what's that even prove?
Yeah.
Because, you could go back again and I don't know.
With that on there. But they too is the SEC says is if we have to cancel a game out, there's no rescheduling it. You're forfeiting.
Yeah, you're forfeiting. Yeah.
We're not playing this on it. We're not doing this again. We're going to try to reset. You know what? There's a protocol. Deal with it. If you can't follow by the rules, you're going to forfeit. So now, is that going to happen if Alabama has to forfeit the game? Or I think Saban's probably got these kids. And get the damn shot. We're not pulling this.
Well, and it goes right. It's a very common theme we're having today, Moose. That's all. Everything's boiling down to the vaccine. Like, it's out there. It's FDA approved. We know it works at a high rate. It's successful. Go out there and get the stupid ass thing.
Yes.
And that's basically what it boils down to. So, yeah. I mean, do what you gotta do. But it is what it is.
There are a ton of games on tomorrow night in college football.
Yeah.
There's one game tonight. There is literally like 15 games tomorrow night. And then they got another 10 or so games on Friday, and then Saturday's just loaded.
Wow.
On there. Let's see.
What,
I think Nebraska might win this game on there Saturday because they're playing Fordham. Thank God it's Fordham because I think Fordham's like a Division II school. That's not a very good one on there because if they played another Big Ten school, they'd probably lose again. I mean, they lost to Illinois, for God's sakes. Over under, Scott Frost gets fired before the end of the season.
Yeah.
And they're being investigated by the NCAA on top of it all, too. Michigan playing Western. Part of me almost expects Michigan to lose this one.
Yeah, Michigan has been so bad. It wouldn't, as far as.
Good game. We got Wisconsin, Penn State. That's a pretty good one to go up there. What is it? Ohio State's playing Minnesota tomorrow night. That's actually on Fox. So that'd be a good game to watch. Let's see here. Bama is playing Miami, the U. Is that Monday? Hold on here. No, that's Saturday. Monday. Oh no, that's that's Saturday. Because Monday night is Louisville, Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to take Louisville out to the woodshed.
Yeah.
Notre Dame versus Florida State. I think Notre Dame's going to take Florida State apart. LSU, UCLA might be a decent one. That's at the Rose Bowl on Saturday.
Ooh.
Clemson, Georgia. That's the game of the day right there.
Yeah, yes it is.
Number 3 versus number 5.
Yep. Yeah, because if Georgia loses a game, that's probably not too good for their playoff status.
Well, if Clemson loses to that, that's not good for them either. Clemson's breaking a new quarterback. We'll see what Georgia on there. We'll see what they can do. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bama versus Miami, and that's at in Atlanta. That's on 3:30 on Saturday. Iowa versus Indiana. That's a pretty good game. I think that Indiana's probably going to be the favorite, but you know what? That's a snake pit game. It's 17 versus 18. Indiana going into Kinnick Stadium for the opener on the road. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
And then Wisconsin's at home against Penn State. I think Wisconsin will beat Penn State. So there's some pretty interesting ones out there and everything with it. And then Michigan State on Friday night against Northwestern. I think this is a down year for Northwestern, so I think still, I don't know. That's a toss up for me.
Yeah. I like I think Michigan could win, but
They were asking local on there, what would you be satisfied with your team on there for you not to be wanting to break your TV on there? And I want to call and say, for Michigan, they have to win the Big Ten championship.
yeah, they're not gonna.
I know they won't, but you know what? I don't
that.
care. They don't win it all. Get rid of them. I don't care if they lose only one game this year to Ohio State and don't get it. Fire them. I'm tired. This is year 8. Damn it, I'm done.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna be like 7-5.
They're good. That's fine. You know what? If they go 7, you know what? I want them to lose all their games and get rid of them. I'm done. I'm done with Harbaugh. I don't care anymore. I want him gone.
I'm with you.
I want him gone. I want his house burnt to the ground.
I want his house burnt to the ground.
I don't want his wife.
I
don't want his wife and kids dead. They can leave the house with the house burnt down to the ground with Jimmy in there, so I can piss on his ass.
We will give them free tickets to the Chuck E. Cheese, and then we will
burn the house down with Jimmy in it.
You cannot say things like this. I'm over the Harbaugh thing too,
Yes.
but I just don't feel like there's any sense of urgency to get rid of him. And it's so weird because, like, how can you see? This is the thing. Like, this is a uber successful university at some point in football, and now they're not even a real player, and you spent so much time and wasted so much time on so many bullshit coaches. Like, why are we just doing this again? Are you just gonna keep riding this out? Like, what do you expect? It is the definition of insanity.
Yes. He has not developed one quarterback since he's been here. He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. Is he really the quarterback whisperer? Oh, look what he did at Stanford. Is it really, though? Because he got lucky at Stanford because he walked into Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And he got lucky in Frisco because they had a great defense, and he got lucky in Kaepernick.
Yeah. I mean, Kaepernick wasn't great, but But see, there's also a part of me that's like, okay, yeah, but you still got to be able to put those cats in situations where they're successful and they play well and maximize their talent. And I would have to say that he maximized what's his name's talent just because I don't know that he I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I got a little sidetracked there, but it's just I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
So, but I'm done with Jimmy on this.
Yeah, he doesn't do it for me. I just and with, like I said, with Kaepernick, there's got to be something said for making these guys, getting them to the Super Bowl and being able to do all that and maximize these guys. But I don't feel like he's a quarterback whisperer per se. If he gets a good one, he can scheme up some shit for this guy.
Yes.
But he can't really.
Can't take somebody off the scrap heap and turn them into.
And I don't know that he's a great scout. Like, are these guys falling to him? Did somebody else pick him? Is there an argument there?
That could be too. And I think again, last year was the mistake. Is I don't think I thought Dylan McCaffrey was the better of the two quarterbacks, and he basically picked Joe Milton. McCaffrey says, "I'm out of here."
Right.
With it, I think McCaffrey was probably the better quarterback per se. Milton is probably the better.
Right.
He's a beast on there, but I think McCaffrey is just a better quarterback wise. From every time I saw him, he just displayed that little it factor on there. He made plays. He was faster than you thought. He was actually faster than Shea Butter. He was faster than Milton, and he had a better arm. And that team responded when he's on there. So I just don't understand it. Because we'll see what happens with Cade this year.
Right.
He's got JJ on there. But again, they're going to a 4-3. They don't have the linebackers to play a 4-3.
Yeah, I know. When I heard that, I'm like, what are we doing? Oh, my goodness.
on there. So we'll see on it, but they don't. I mean,
I'm not hearing recruiting class and grades of,
I want 7-5. I want 6-6 so they can get rid of him. Because if they go 8-4, 9-3, he's back another year.
Yeah, he may be back at 7-5. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it feels like.
Well, he doesn't have a buyout, so we can get rid of him. And basically, doesn't cost us anything. He's making basically they cut his salary half what he was making. So we'll see. But I don't have any faith. Especially when you got the freaking killer there in Columbus with Ryan Day.
Right.
He's a stone cold killer. He loves beating the hell out of Michigan.
Yep.
Only thing is it's going to keep him there. I mean, on there is that they can pay him more money because the NFL is going to be calling on him.
Right.
He makes another team to the playoffs. He's 39 years old. He gets another team to the championship game on there 2 years in a row. But again, they got question marks too because they got a new offensive line. They have a new quarterback. They're going to have to get all new linebackers in the front four of the defense. There's question marks there too. But then again, they're almost set up like Bama. It's just like load up.
Right.
Bama doesn't matter. Oh, everybody lost. Doesn't matter. Boom. We got the next group in here already.
Well, it's going to be one of those things where if, the name and likeness thing's going to change the way that the dynamic there. So we'll see. Because you're not going to be able to stock up on these guys because they're going to go somewhere where they can make money and play. And so what I'm seeing too is a lot of guys that, I'm going to go and get a deal and do this and do that. And it's just wide open. I mean, so yeah. Is there going to be a frenzy and a free for all? Think about it, Moose. If we had this, I'm trying to think about kind of a little bit more earlier on when maybe 8 or 10 seasons ago we'd be talking about college. Did you really think that these would be the conversations we'd be talking about with the NCAA?
NIL deals? No.
Yeah, NIL deals.
And they're expanding it now to 12 teams to the playoffs.
Right.
So we'll
I mean, it's been a wild transition. Like, if you were watching NCAA football a decade ago, it's so different now.
Yeah.
If you were in a cryogenic state and woke up and I want to watch some college football, you'd be like,
what the hell is this?
What the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So, yeah, we got that NFL on there. What the hell is Houston waiting on there? Of course, on there. You see, they don't even have a backup quarterback. They have Tyrod Taylor as their first quarterback, no second string quarterback. David Mims is their third string, and then other is Deshaun Watson. So you see what the quarterback for what Madden? And they want multiple first rounds for this cat, and now the teams are like, no, we'll give you a stale bag of donuts because he may not even play ever again.
Yeah, I mean, what do you?
Now the FBI is investigating him too on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's one hell of a leap of faith.
And he's happy, like, yeah, fine, I'll sit there on the bench and collect my $10 million.
Yeah, I mean,
base salary.
That's one crazy.
Because after this year, he may not get anything. He may be.
Wow. Unbelievable. Crazy wild stories in sports this year, man.
Oh, and Mark Davis is having a $14 million mansion built in Vegas. The mansion literally looks like the cockpit or whatever on here from a Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
Oh my god!
It's like this design. You go, oh my god! It looks like the bridge there.
Yeah.
Star Destroyer.
That's too
all
silly.
Black and white.
That is way too silly. Way too silly. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't take it.
It's gonna be interesting this year because you got a lot of coaches changes on there. Getting what our guy's gonna progress on there. Our guy's gonna take a step back this year on there. Like with the Chargers, they got a new head coach, new coaching regime on there. Is Herbert gonna take a step back this year?
Well, I would tell you what I pulled up. So when I look at the NFL, and we talked about it a little bit going into the break. You can't take much from preseason, but I'm going to tell you what I can take from the preseason. The future state of the quarterback position is looking very good. If you look at the quarterbacks that you've got playing now that have been in the league for, whatever, 3 years or so, and then you look at the ones that are coming in this year and what you could potentially be getting next year if you look at college, there is a healthy supply of top quality quarterbacks coming out. Like, we were all freaking out because all these great players are getting to the end of their career, but that's one thing I learned from the preseason. The state of the quarterback position is pretty good right now going forward for the NFL. So if that can stretch across the board as far as just player health and just great athletes and talent and all that, if that still can to other positions, if that leaks to other positions, that's great. But that is telling, I think, that of what kind of football we're going to see going forward, right? Because we've made all these crazy changes, and now we've got an extra week, and they're going to probably add an extra one and playoff teams and do all this other nonsense. And once again, it's another one of the things you walk away from football, whether it's college or NFL. It's just evolved so quickly.
You're right.
So,
preseason wise, if you go, oh look, Denver went 3-0, trust me, Denver.
That doesn't mean shit.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna take any individual things. Like, you can look at the NFL as a whole. You can look at maybe divisions, but like, I don't know. Did any team really go out there and start showing off their thing? I mean,
no, they play vanilla offenses and vanilla defenses.
Right.
All you want to do is make it through the preseason healthy for the most part.
Sure.
Unfortunately, Baltimore didn't because they lost J.K. Dobbins.
Well, see, and do you think Jameis Winston's going to be balling out like he was in whatever a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was? Dude, he'll be great for the first 4 weeks, but then he'll be throwing more picks than touchdowns, and it is what it is.
I think they're going to run it a little bit more on there, so we'll see on it. But I think Jameis, he's not going to throw more. I don't think he's going to throw 30 picks and 30 touchdowns in that. I think it's still going to be. He's still going to be that 20 pick range on there,
right?
With it, it's just because he's James. I think again, by far, Sean Payton's the best coach he's ever had. I mean, ever.
Yeah.
Including college.
Sure.
It's not even close. With it, so we'll see what happens there on that point on it. But again, Jameis is Jameis on there with it on there. But that's the key with it. We'll see what happens again. Of course, they don't really. I mean, there are question marks too because Michael Taylor's out for half the season.
Well, that's there's all kinds of different.
Michael Thomas, I meant.
Yeah.
But so you'll look at that on there. Plus, again, they're in a tough division too. Carolina's going to be a little better on this year on there with it. I think they're going to be a little better this year. Again, Tampa's going to be. So Brady basically shows that he can't play anymore. I'm not betting against them.
Right. Yeah, I tell.
With the best division, really, is the NFC West.
Right. Yeah.
That's going to be a killer division. I think Frisco's going to win that division. They have the best. Yeah, they've got a great defense.
Yeah.
They've got a great offensive line. They've got a great running game, and they got the best play caller probably in the NFL with Kyle Shanahan. The Rams will be fine on there. Everyone loves Seattle. Seattle again doesn't have an offensive line.
Yeah.
They have no defense whatsoever. Yeah, glad they're going to let Russ be Russ a little bit more this year with the quick passes and that. So I think they'll be okay with that. But again, they still can't stop anybody.
No.
And they still don't he doesn't have any protection. Plain and simple. Everybody keeps loving Justin Fields in Chicago. Tell me the last time the Bears ever developed a quarterback.
They never. They don't. You know what? They've never had a 4,000-yard quarterback.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm like,
their leading quarterback all time for a single season is
Kramer.
Eric Kramer with almost 3,900 yards.
Yeah, 38 something.
Yeah, 38.86 or something like that.
Wow, that's so crazy when you think about it. But they've always kind of relied on other stuff. I mean, if you look at the Bears'
defense
success,
and running game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's been. Their success has always been that formula, regardless of regime. It feels like so. But gosh, I don't We'll see. But yeah, they're gonna have issues. There's so many unknowns, but I look at a lot of this stuff and think, okay, you're probably not gonna know much this year.
No.
And then
You'll
even with
be-
the preseason stuff aside, where we don't know shit and we know less than shit this time. This year, you may not learn a whole heck of a lot. Like I said, we're talking about the way this game is evolving, what these guys are doing. We're hoping we'll see flickers. It was kind of like the Joe Burrows thing, right? You got to see flickers. You got to see that, okay, this guy, and then he got hurt. But, like, that's what you want to see is these flickers of these guys playing well. And then
and everybody keeps ripping out, well, Jamar Chase. Dude took a year off. So it's going to take a while to get it. Remember, you don't have really OTAs anymore like you used to and everything with it. It's going to take time for him to get the timing back in with it. He is still basically showing that he can pull away from defenders.
Right.
He's still running good routes. He's just dropping the ball in that. It'll come along. Honest, I think Jamar Chase was getting that. He was by far still the best receiver out of this class, which was a really good damn class on there. But he's still on there. Cincinnati on there with it on there. And I'm still saying this is the best team in that division is still the Browns.
Well, if they don't like implode on themselves, right?
But I don't think
I have a little bit of a different feel this year, but I don't know, man. It always seems like they
have the best offensive line in the division, probably one of the best offensive lines in football wise. And they run the damn ball. They have the best running back tandem in the NFL, and it's not even close.
And they're going to need it again because that's what makes Baker Mayfield.
Right,
a little bit of defense.
You got Chubb and with Hunt, the defense is going to be better. With that, because the whole secondary is going to be healthy. Last year they weren't healthy. Again, they got everybody back that's going to be healthy on there. This team's going to be on there. They're going to win this division on there. Baltimore, I think, is going to take a huge step back on that because I don't think they have no receivers whatsoever for Lamar Jackson to throw to other than their tight end. They don't have Gus Edwards is okay, but they lose Dobbins. I thought Dobbins could be a superstar. And Pittsburgh has still no offensive line.
Right.
I'm not buying it. Yeah, you reshuffled it. You got new guys on there. I'm not buying it.
Well, and that's going to be an issue.
Big Ben is 150 years old.
I was about to say, that's going to be huge issues for
the
that
defense
guy.
will still be great because it's still the defense. But
and what's his name is going to coach the shit out of them too. So they will win games. But I'm with you. If they don't secure that offensive line, then it's going to be a long year offensively for them. Big Ben can't. Be hurt again, shit.
Yeah,
he's a Statue of Liberty back there. He's a tree.
Kansas City's Kansas City. They're gonna win. Because they got the best player, best quarterback in the right now in the football with Mahomes, and he just basically rebuilt the whole offensive line, and they're gonna be fine on there.
Yeah, they did rebuild it pretty good. So we'll see. Or it seems like they rebuilt it pretty quick and pretty good. We'll see how that goes.
I still like Buffalo in the AFC East and that on there. Miami's gonna be okay. I'm not sure about Tua. We'll see what on there is wise on there. See what happens.
I'm not feeling the Tua situation, I didn't when he came out. I
think the Jets are gonna be they're hard garbage, but I think they're gonna be better because they actually got a legit coach maybe. With Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Because Adam Gase was terrible.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah.
And that's why that's why I said Carolina's going to be better. With Darnold's going to have a kind of a rebound. He's going to have a little bit, basically, you'll see it seeing as this was the kid we saw in the Rose Bowl against Penn State.
Right, sure.
As a freshman. You go, okay, he's got a legit coach now. And I think they're going to be, plus they've got real players to throw to.
Right.
And he's got a great running back. So it's interesting on there. We'll see how soon before Atlanta decides they're going to trade Matty Ice.
I don't know.
Somebody's going to need a quarterback.
Yep. Well, I don't know. They seem like they're going to run with him. I don't know if that means anything or not, but
their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
And they have no running game.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to.
Tennessee's the one I don't know. Because the whole with the COVID, the guys basically getting tested positive and everything with it on there. I'm not sure on there. They should be the team to watch for on there because again, adding Julio's not the number one. He's going to be the number two.
Sure.
You got A.J. Brown, and you got a great offensive line, and you got freaking Derrick Henry.
Right.
I don't know about their defense, but Ugh.
All right.
Craziness.
Crazy. I'm ready to fall out. I gotta be up early. I gotta
You
go
gotta get
out
up
of
early on
state.
there,
I'm crashing
and then you're off to-
hard. But we got a lot going on. So what do we got next week? We're gonna
NFL. Basically, we'll get into our pick'ems.
Yeah.
We'll do our predictions.
All right. What games do we got this weekend? We got tons of football games.
Tons
we
of-
already went over that, so we're gonna break some of them down.
Yeah, we'll break some of the best games on there in college. We'll obviously break down Michigan and Michigan State, but we'll cover the big games out there that went on there, especially again Georgia and Clemson. We'll talk about those games on there on it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
we
great
obviously
game.
got the last month wrapping up here in MLB. We'll talk on that as well.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't even say is Miggy got his 500 home run.
Yeah, 503 now.
He'll be at the beginning of next year. He'll probably get his 3,000 hit, which means he joins like one of 7 that have 3,000 hits and 500 home runs.
Well,
and I think he joins one of 3 with 3 or 4 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, and lifetime batting average over 300.
Oh, nice.
And he'll join one of 2 with winning the Triple Crown. Willie Mays is the only other player to do it.
Wow.
They have 3,000 hits, bat 300, 500 plus home runs, Triple Crown.
It's a hell of a resume. Without a doubt, that's a hell of a resume. Gosh.
Tigers are winning 7-6 against the A's.
Oh, we'll take it.
Yep.
So for now. They blew that big lead earlier a couple weeks ago. I was like, I was messing with Canada Mike. So I love you, brother, though. That's why I tease you. All right, so we got a lot we'll get into next week. I'm just dead. I'm tired. I'm cashed out. It's been a long, crazy off season. I've been doing a lot of everything I can. I'm burning at both ends. So between doing wrestling shows and working the bell business and doing all this other stuff, it's just been a pretty wild ride. I'm having fun, but this week's been a long one, and I got to get up early as hell because I got to go out of state tomorrow morning. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and coming back after our little hiatus, and we'll have we'll have everything back and organized and back together here. We're just kind of dusting off the studio and chatting with you, so we do appreciate you guys. And next week will be fun. So we'll be back same bat time, same bat channel, and we'll do this thing again.
Yep. And again, you guys have a long weekend. Enjoy it. Be safe.
Enjoy your holiday. Be safe. Barbecue, smoke some meats.
Yes.
Do that stuff. Have a cigar and some bourbon, whatever you're into, some whiskey, whatever. Craft beers, all that stuff. All right, that's what's up. Be good to each other. That's the most important. We love you guys. Thanks again.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop.